Okay guys, another great day to be alive. Crispy winter morning in the subtropics of Queensland, South East Queensland, and today we want to look into some pruning. Alright, pruning. First things first, it is winter. We should not be pruning. Well, we should be pruning, but usually I leave it a little bit later in the year. This year, however, the fruit trees have gone mad. So we're going to be specifically focusing on our stone fruits. I'm going to try the avocados and possibly the custard apples and mangoes. We're just going to have to see how we go. The tricky thing is, we can't do citrus because they're completely laden with fruit right now, so we've got to wait for them to fall off. I'm not a professional by any stretch of the imagination in pruning, but have done it for a couple of years, and there may be something you can glean. First things first, I'm sure you're asking, what is this mad contraption over here that you just saw me hooning around on? And that is the Cyber Clydesdale in all its beauty right there. This is just a little something that I've been playing with. Usually we make these things. Got the solar panel on the roof there. It is not hooked up yet. I only put it on a couple of days ago, and really like it. It's a mad piece of machinery. Really like it. I think I'm going to make it available. The Cyber Clydesdale obviously is available, just in this configuration. We had the mower deck on there. Sorry you can't see me. We had the mower deck on there, and we took it off and we left the trailer on, and I'm like, this is cool as. It feels like Xavier from X-Men. If you haven't seen it, that's good. It's probably not appropriate to watch anyway. But you know, the guy in the wheelchair just zooming around the place. All right, and back to fruit trees. Okay, let's focus. So, fruit trees, here. These fruit trees, it's literally when the winter's just started. We're in June, end of June, yeah. And we've already got Chinese flat peaches on here. You can't see that because of the sun again. Let me just get another angle. Okay, we've got Chinese flat peaches on here, as you can sort of see. And the rest of them are flat out in flower. We've got the plums, everything's in flower. I've got three things that I use for pruning. Let's just check in our bin here. Chainsaw. That is not number one, but it's something that I always keep on me. Let's just start from the start. Let's go number one. Secateurs. So secateurs, obviously you need that to prune all your little dead wood off, anything small, gonna snip away at that. Then your big cutters, you know, got long handles. These are Fisker, and they've got extendable handles. I'll show you in a minute in the video. You can't see me again, sorry about that. Fisker, whatever tickles your fancy. I'm not here to throw brands around, but that's just what they are. And then my electric chainsaw. Yeah, I've been really liking this. We've been cutting all our firewood in our house with this, and we can typically cut a week's worth of firewood with one 12 amp hour battery, which is what I've got in it today, and one 6 amp hour battery. So like I say in most of my videos, electric's not a way of the future, it's a way of the present. And that's a big thing for us, being self-sustaining. We've got solar panels on our roof, so electric's the only way that we go with our stuff. Let's get into pruning. Okay, so we've got our rootstock here. You can see they've got the big leaves on it. The graft is up here. You can see that sort of a cut in it. Can you see it? Maybe not. I don't know, I hope you can. So anything below that's no good. So we're just gonna go and get our choppers, and we want to chop it off as low as we possibly can. Just be careful of irrigation. We've got some like irrigation under there, so you don't want to chop that. But that's basically it, pretty simple. Then we want to chop off any dead wood. So we've got these little bits and pieces here. Well, that's not dead, but it's a bit low for my liking. So yeah, anything below where the rats can eat, you don't want that. Anything above where the birds can eat, you don't want that either. I mean, the rats and birds can move obviously, but that's just the general rule I like to abide by. So I'm just gonna snip a couple of these ones off. Little secateurs, snip, snip. Anything down here, down low. We're going for a vase structure here, so we want to sort of cut anything in the middle facing inwards out. We're gonna get rid of that so that the sunlight penetrates wherever to wherever it needs to go. So sunlight is one of the only ways to cure any disease. It kills anything. Obviously it's good for us and it's good for a lot of things in moderation, but if you get it in excess, it's no good, you know. So we want to let the sunlight right in to the inside of the plant to kill that disease. So we're going to go through and going to prune all that off, and then hopefully that'll let that in and let the fruit grow. We don't want too many fruit in our tree either, so don't be scared about cutting a couple of buds off and stuff, because you want less big fruit than a lot of small fruit. It's just what people want. Okay, we're going up with that vase structure thing. So we want this fella, he's coming out nicely. We'll get rid of these little ones. And that's pretty nice there, guys, I reckon. So we've got the inside out, we've got nothing coming into crowd in the middle. We're gonna let the sunlight in. We've got all ours facing out. We've got rid of all the really low ones. Probably could take one or two more off, just down here. And then we're good to go. When you're cutting, you always want to make sure you get nice clean cuts so the tree can heal nicely. If we start doing tears and stuff, that's when your disease and bacteria gets into the tree. You really want to be careful with that. Another tip an orchard manager told me once, he said, if you don't know what you're cutting, don't cut it. Or if you don't know why you're cutting, don't cut it. Alright, so this is our tropical. I might give you a little video on avocado in a minute, but basically this here is a black sapote. We've got two white sapotes behind it. But most tropicals are fairly similar. It's completely, well, it's a similar process to your stone fruit, but just because they're not deciduous, you can't have the luxury of pruning them when they're deciduous. Basically, you want to just get them before their flowering cycle. Now, it is typical that most tropical fruit flower in spring. It's not necessarily true. Like we have a guava that just flowered in autumn. Our carob tree is flowering right now. But anyway, you basically just need to sort of pick the cycle as to when best to prune them. So we're going to do the same. I'm going to cut off the low stuff, cut out the top, and try and vase it out a little bit. Your tropical fruits don't need that vase thing as much necessarily because they're evergreens. They get that sunlight all year, but that same disease ideology and thought process is what you want, and the same ease of harvest. So when it's hanging over the side, you want to harvest it, you don't want to bend down, and you don't want to have ladders. So we're just going to run with that same thing, and I'm going to run down here quickly and I'll show you how we do it on these three trees we got here. You can see on the back of these leaves how it's all black. So that's soot, you know, the sunlight gets in there, will kill a lot of that. And the airflow, getting that fresh breeze flowing through, really helps. So you can see I just cut 3 branches off and that dropped all that leaf matter from the bottom. Let that air get through under there. And then we'll just do the same. I'll thin out the top a little bit, but I won't do a real lot to it. Yeah, and that's it. I'll just take you up closer. You can see there from the top. Oh, it's hard to see, but you can sort of see it's sort of vased out a little bit, get that sunlight into the middle, and then from the bottom, it's hard to see as well, but I don't know if you're going to be able to see. Anyway, it lets that sunlight, you can see the sunlight pretty well penetrating right through. Just, you want to be careful, like I said, don't over prune your trees, especially your tropical ones. They like a lot of foliage, but it is good to keep that sunlight getting in and that breeze flow. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the rest of these. Okay, so there we have it. Looking at this, you can see how much it opens it up now. You see that sunlight gets in, nice and clean through the bottom. This one here as well. You can see through the bottom there. Now, I wasn't aware of this, but I love spending time with my fruit trees because you really get to spend some time personally with them. You have a bit of a talk with them, you know, how you going, matey, and all them sort of things. But it's already flowered and just started fruiting. So you can see this is the white sapote. Let me see if I can focus in on that. No, it's hard to. Anyway, that's the fruit just setting on there. So if I left it a lot longer, I would have been having to cut fruit down. Actually, maybe I should have cut this one here. Snip him off. That's it. And when they're laden with fruit, they will drop, like the branches will drop on them. So I wouldn't get too excited with all that. But you can see, yeah, they look a lot better than what they were. And yeah, once a year's fine with that. And yeah, so that's how you prune your tropicals. Possibly most important is cleaning up, and that's why we have the cyberclized with the trailer here with us today. So I'm going to put you down on the ground and zip down and pick up all them cuttings, and we'll take them down to our compost heap down the back and tip them out. And there you have it. Pruning done. We didn't get to them avocados, but we'll have to leave them for another day. But you get the gist of how you do tropicals and how you do stone fruit. We may even do another video later on the oranges and the avocados, just when we get some time. But there you have it. I'll get the Clydesdale now. I'll take them down to the back and just tip it all off with the tipper like so. And we're good to go. Thanks again, guys, for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. It may not be new to a lot of you, but maybe there's little bits and pieces you might have picked up. If you did like it, please subscribe down there, like it, and if there's any content you want us to cover, hopefully we'll have some solar stuff come up in the future, some batteries, some setups, larger machinery and stuff. But if there's anything you want us to cover, just let us know in the comment section and we'll see if we can help you out. Thanks again, guys. Bonus time, guys. It's night time here. I'm in my pajamas, in case you are wondering, and I found something fascinating out the other night. What does it have to do with country living, you say? The camera won't focus on me. There it is. What does it have to do with country living, you say? Well, everyone has a dehumidifier, and if you don't have one, you need one, because when it gets dry, you don't want to be dry. You know, you get cracked nose, cracked slips, all that sort of stuff. So we've got the aircon pumping in winter time, and our house gets dry. So my wife's got this funny little dehumidifier here. Well, there it is there. It's fancy, and if you press the buttons here, it does stuff. You turn it on. It's got fancy lights, and like they change colour, and all this sort of thing. And I thought, hey, that's cute. I wonder how that works. So I got to thinking, let me show you guys something. So I'm like, how does this thing even work? Like, how does that humidify water? Like, the stuff that we had when we were kids, it was like a hot thing, and it made the water vaporize, and then that's how you had the humidity. You know, you put eucalyptus seeds in there, your mum stuck your head over it, and that sort of stuff. This has got none of that. It's like fancy. And so I got to Googling, and never guess what? It's ultrasonic. It's an ultrasonic microphone in the bottom of that thing that just flogs the water so hard that yeah, it vaporizes. I'll turn it on, let me show you. I'll press this button down here. Oh. Yes, we finally got it. Look at it. Look at it, it's shooting stuff out. Can you see that? Yeah, so my curious mind, you know what it did? I thought that's fascinating. Took the lid off. Well, would you look at that? And if there's one place you do not want to stick your finger, it's in there. I did it the other day, and the ultrasonic goes through your finger. It was this finger here. It's been like 3 days and it's still sore. So, ultrasonic heaters are good. They're okay. It's all good for you, unless you stick your finger in there. Moral of the story, if you don't know what's in there, don't stick your finger in it.